All right. Happy Monday, everybody. Hopefully, you're having a fantastic day. We've got 12 MLB games. We're going to talk about each one like we always do. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, comment down below with your favorite play today. All right. Recap from yesterday. We went 2 and 3, but we did smaller unit sizes and we hit the plus 226 parlay of Luis Ortiz to get 6 Ks, but the Reds to win the first 5. We had Braves team total over 4.5. We cashed that one easy. Tigers, Blue Jays over 8.5. This one was frustrating. It was like 18, 19 hits, and they had 18 runners left on base. Final score 5-3. So that one was very annoying. Rays team total over 4.5. Just a terrible read. Thought the offense would show up, and they just did not. Cal Quantrill made them look silly. And White Sox and Cubs, no home run. Unfortunately, that one didn't come through. But again, some small quarter unit play there. So basically, we're down just a hair, kind of break even Sunday. All right, let's jump into this card and talk about this slate today. So first game is going to be the Cubs and the Marlins. So this one we have Ben Brown going up against Edward Cabrera. Ben Brown's definitely pitching better as of late, but he does have a 285 opponent average. Decent game last game. However, it was against the Marlins. So now he's facing them again. I don't love that when you see somebody in back-to-back starts. You typically do see some regression there. Hitters are going to make adjustments, things of that nature. So really hard for me to back Ben Brown today. Cabrera has been pitching better as of late. His last 2 starts have been really good. It's just always the same issue with him. You know, what's the walk rate going to be? How's he going to look? He could definitely just show up and walk 5 people today. His splits just aren't something I can get behind. 277 to lefties, 313 to righties. Strikeout percentage is way too low. Walk rate's way too high. Ben Brown on the road this season has been outstanding. In 3 away starts, he's got a 1.59 ERA. Cabrera at home has not been good. He's got a 5.31 ERA in 4 home games. So this one is Cubbies, run line or pass for me. Only thing that makes me a little bit nervous is we got a 12-mile-an-hour wind blowing in, so that is going to impact home runs and things like that. But yeah, it's Cubbies on the run line. You get that at minus 105 or nothing. I do think they have a pretty strong offensive showing today, but you never know with this Marlins team. Next game is going to be the Reds and the Pirates. Nick Lodolo going up against Mitch Keller. Keller's 1-5 on the year with a 4.15 ERA. Lodolo 3-4 with a 3.42 ERA. It's going to be 59 degrees with mid-humidity and pressure, and we do have the wind blowing out to right field at 9 miles an hour. This is definitely a red spot, in my opinion. Splits on Keller aren't great. Struggling against lefties and doing okay against righties, but you think of lefties, you think of Friedel, you think of Lux, you think of Ellie De La Cruz, right? They've got some lefties that can definitely hit. Jake Fraley, guys like that. Will Benson's been on an absolute heater. So definitely lean the Reds in this spot. Lodolo should be able to keep this Pirates team down. That said, they've had some success against him. Brian Hayes is 3 for 9. Brian Reynolds is 5 for 12. Andrew McCutchen struggled a little bit, 2 for 12. O'Neal Cruz, 2 for 8. And you got some guys that are 0 for 3 in there. So there's definitely been some guys that have struggled. On the red side, Will Benson's 0 for 10, but he's been on an absolute heater. Ellie's 3 for 11. Tyler Stevenson, 6 for 15. Spencer Steer, 6 for 18. You got Matt McClain's 2 for 3. TJ Friedel, 0 for 12. So that's a lefty bat that has struggled against him. And then Santiago Espinal is 2 for 6. So I think the Reds keep the train rolling. They've won 4 straight. So don't look now. Got to ride that offense while it's hot because it will cool down. At home, after a win this season, the Reds are 12-11. On the road as favorites, they're 3-2. Pirates at home as dogs are 6-6 on the year. After a loss this season, they are 12-19. So not a lot of factors make me think the Pirates are just going to jump up today. What I like in this one, though, we're going to take first 7. So I like that because Their bullpen is heavily taxed on the red side. You've got Pagan, who has gone 3 straight days. He's their closer. And then you have Santillan, who has also gone 3 straight days. He is the setup guy. So you've got your 8th inning guy and your 9th inning guy who have both gone 3 straight days. Ashcraft has pitched 2 of the past 3 days. So all the good arms I like are a little bit taxed. So we're going to go first 7 at -125. We actually get better value. I think Lodolo has a pretty long outing today to try to keep some arms left in this bullpen. His over 17.5 is ridiculously juiced, so not something you want to touch. Next game, Mets and the Red Sox. Kodai Senga going up against Hunter Dobbins. It's going to be a colder day in Fenway. It's going to be 48 degrees, mid-humidity, and low pressure. And we've got a 16-mile-an-hour wind blowing in from left field. So it's kind of between left field wall and third base, kind of an angled wind. So home runs are going to be down, but runs are actually going to be up. We do see an over-under of 9. I think Hunter Dobbins has pitched really well. Kodai Senga is obviously pitching very well. He's got a 1.22 ERA. Dobbins has pitched 3 games at home. He's got a 3.78 ERA. Kodai Senga's 4 games on the road, 1.50 ERA. The only thing that scares me with Senga is his average to righties is pretty high. It's 282. Dobbins is getting killed by lefties. 372 average to lefties, 163 to righties. Runners in scoring position, both of these guys are pitching really well. Kodai Senga is giving up a 100 average to a scoring position, and Dobbins 143. So both are pitching really well. Pitch splits look kind of bad for both of them, but a little worse for Dobbins. He throws a slider about 30% of the time, and the Mets have been crushing the slider, so don't love that. I want to see a little more run support. The only thing that scares me is when Kodai Senga pitches, Mets don't give him enough run support. They're only giving him 3.75 runs per start. Dobbins is getting 7.4. So that does make me a little bit nervous. But I do like the matchups here. I think Juan Soto should have a really nice day. He's got a beautiful matchup today. I think Francisco Lindor has a good matchup. Alonso has a good matchup. So when those 3 guys have great matchups, I definitely feel better. On the other side, I think Devers and Bregman and Wilyer Abreu have pretty good matchups. So we're going to go first 5 in this one. We're going to take the Mets on the first 5. It's not that I don't trust their bullpen. I think it's more let's take advantage of this massive pitching advantage that they have. So we're going to go first 5. I will tell you, you can do first 5 and take Abreu or Bregman to get a hit, and the odds go crazy high. So instead of -135, just take one of those guys to get hit and you go to like plus 170. So that is an option that you can look at. All right, next game is going to be the Astros and the Rays. Ryan Pepe Le Pew going up against Colton Gordon. Gordon's only got 1 game under his belt. Wouldn't say it was great. It was against the Royals where he gave up 7 hits and 3 earned runs. Mind you, this is a Royals team that's been struggling offensively. So we kind of have to take that into effect. My only issue is when we look at the game logs versus the Rays when a lefty's pitching, they just haven't been able to get to anybody. They got 1 off Jose Quintana. They got 2 off of Jesus Luzardo. Didn't get anything off of Sanchez. They got 1 off of Ryan Yarbrough. They didn't get any off Reed, nothing off Cameron. And they got 4 off of Rodriguez. So we have to go all the way back to April 23rd to find a spot where they really got to a lefty, in my opinion. So I don't have a lot of confidence. That said, I mean, they have faced some good lefties over the course of the season so far. But, you know, Sean Newcomb, pretty bad lefty. They couldn't get anything off of him. They did get the Chris Sale earlier in the year. But, yeah, I have issues backing this Rays team. That said, it's Rays or nothing for me here. I just don't think I can get behind this pitcher. We do have some pretty wild winds. Or wild weather, I should say, 84 degrees with mid-humidity and mid-pressure and the wind blowing out. This is a minor league ballpark, if you guys don't know. Spring training home of the Yankees, so it's called Steinbrenner Field. Home runs are going to be up 28%. Runs are going to be up 10%. Colton Gordon, early stats here, is definitely a fly ball pitcher. 65% of his outs come via the fly ball so far. Again, these are early numbers. Pepe, old Ryan Pepe Le Pew's been pretty good against lefties, man. 157 average. Righties giving up a 280 average. He is struggling a little bit at home, 4.24 ERA, but like I said, this is also a minor league field, so take with that what you will. But yeah, to me, this is a Tampa Bay spot. There's some guys that have pretty good matchup today. I think like Yandy Diaz has a pretty nice day. Danny Jansen has a pretty nice matchup. Brandon Lowe, I like him today. On the other side for Houston, not much I really like, to be honest. Maybe Paredes has a decent day, but aside from that, can't get behind these matchups. So Tampa Bay or nothing. Not sure if I touch that game. Speaking of games I'm not going to touch, let's talk about Cleveland and Minnesota. So Minnesota 9-1 in their last 10, but again, I think Buxton, Correa are on concussion protocol. Makes me a little bit nervous. We saw that 13-game winning streak end yesterday against the Brewers, going up against the Guardians, who are on a 4-game losing streak. On the road as underdogs this season, Cleveland 7-8, and Minnesota at home as favorites this season are 13-6. Not a strong bounce back factor for the Twins. After a loss this season, they're 8-12. So I don't love that. Cleveland after a loss are 10-10. Logan Allen going up against Bailey Ober is our pitching matchup today. Two guys with a pretty high opponent average, 264 plus for both. Basically the same ERA, about 3.7. Thing here with me is the wind. It's going to be 59 degrees, mid humidity and mid pressure, and we got a 16-mile-an-hour wind blowing in from center field. So home runs are going to be down like 26%, runs down 10. Not going to touch this game. I would lean Minnesota. I think it's probably appropriately placed, but under 7.5 would probably be the angle I would take. My only concerns with Ober when he pitches is the long ball, but we're going to have a big wind blowing in. He's given up about 1.12 home runs per 9, so it's going to alleviate my biggest issue with him. And this Twins team's just been on an absolute tear. They're hitting righties, lefties, doesn't really matter over the course of this streak. And I think there's some decent matchups, like Ty France has a pretty good matchup. Willie Castro, I like him today. Jeffers has a decent matchup. On the other side, I would say Kwan probably has a somewhat decent day. Jose Ramirez has been on a nice little streak. I think he's got a 13-game hit streak, I want to say. Roped a double down the line yesterday in that game. And the Twins versus lefties, they've been pretty decent. They got 5 off of Cade Povich, got 1 off of Crochet. They got 4 off of Kikuchi, 2 off Chris Sale, 1 off of Reagans. So if we look at the lefties they've faced this season, for the most part, they've been fairly decent. So Twins or nothing for me in this spot. Can't get behind this Guardians team that really struggled offensively in that Red series against some, I think, a couple of spots where they should have scored a bunch of runs. Next game is going to be the Orioles and the Brewers. Looks like I jumped ahead, but that's fine. We've got Dean Kramer going up against Quinn Priester. Kramer 3-5 on the year, 5.36 ERA. Quinn Priester 1-2 with a 4.59 ERA. These guys, home away splits are bad. Kramer 6 games on the road, almost a 7 ERA. Quinn Priester 3 games at home, a 5 ERA. We did see the Brewers start to score some runs yesterday, but really 2 teams offensively that have been quite subpar over the past 2 weeks. Orioles are hitting 238 and Brewers are hitting 201. So not much there in terms of run support. They don't get a ton of run support when they pitch. Obviously that makes sense, but I think today there's some pretty darn good matchups here. I don't trust either of these pitchers, so pretty easy play for me. Give me the over 8.5 runs. I think the Orioles have been giving up runs. We saw it in the Nats series. And I don't trust Quinn Priester. So I think we're in a good spot here to get some runs in this game. I do think the Orioles bats do come to life today. Orioles have lost 6 straight games, 2-8 in their last 10. Brewers are 3-7 in their last 10. So I like the over 8.5 in this spot today as an official play. Next game is going to be the Mariners and the White Sox. Luis Castillo going up against Davis Martin. Not a game I want to touch. I don't really love the weather in this one, so fade spot for me. There's going to be a fairly strong wind, like 15-mile-an-hour wind blowing from kind of left field to right field. It's going to be colder. It's going to be 52 degrees. Luis Castillo pitched okay On the road, he's definitely been worse. He's got almost a 6 ERA on the road in 3 starts. Davis Martin, 3.22 in 4 home starts. The Mariners team, I know they just came and swept the series against the Padres, but offensively, statistically, they haven't been great. They're hitting 215 over the last 2 weeks. They're hitting 181 over the past week. That's dead last in baseball. Do they win? Probably, but not a game where I can get behind them. So I'm going to fade it. I'm sure the Mariners probably win, but at this price, can't trust them. That's way too high. All right, next one is going to be the Tigers and the Cardinals. Keter Montero going up against Sonny Gray. So we do have a pretty big disparity in terms of pitching matchup here. This is a spot where you got 2 really hot teams right now. Tigers are 7-3 in their last 10. Cardinals are 8-2. Cardinals are coming off a loss yesterday. Tigers are coming off a win against the Blue Jays. They're traveling from Toronto to St. Louis. I would favor St. Louis in this one, but the price is just ridiculously high. So the value is on taking the Tigers at plus 136. In terms of the weather, 66 degrees with high humidity and low pressure. All 2 very good things for carry. But we do have a 9-mile-an-hour wind blowing in from right center. Home runs are going to be down about 25%. Runs down about 10. Question for me is, do I trust Keter Montero? He's been getting a little better, but he's still got a 4+ ERA and 2 away starts. Sonny Gray at home, 3.57 in 6 home starts this season. Neither have done a fantastic job with runners in scoring position. Sonny Gray, 241 average. Keter Montero, 263. Montero's pretty much like a 260 average to both sides of the plate. Sonny Gray, 255 to lefties, 333 to righties. So value here is on taking the Tigers. I do have the Tigers winning this one in a very tight game, and I do have it going over 8. But with this win coming in, I think I'm just going to stay away from this one. I do think it's a fairly tight game here. All right, next one is going to be the Phillies and the Rockies. There's just not a lot of value here. It's Phillies run line or nothing. You got Christopher Sanchez going up against Kyle Freeland. Freeland in 4 home starts is giving up, he's got like a 10 ERA. It's 9.77. Sanchez on the road has been outstanding in 3 away starts, 1.88 ERA, giving up a sub 200 average to both sides of the plate. Righties are killing Freeland. They're hitting almost 400 off of him this season. Runners in scoring position, giving up a 344 average. Sanchez giving up a 214 average. Yeah, there's no spot here to get to the Rockies, in my opinion, with Freeland on the hill. He's 0-6 on the season with a 6.15 ERA. The only thing for the Phillies, they did lose their closer. So Alvarado was suspended for PEDs for 80 games. So he won't come back until mid-August, and he'll be ineligible for the playoffs. So that is huge. If you're a Mets fan, that is a huge help to you. But no way I can get behind the Rockies here. The run line's at like minus 180. It's so hard to find value here. You could do something like Sanchez to get 5 Ks and Phillies run line or something to get some value, but Phillies probably destroy them. The only thing that does concern me is there's going to be a 17-mile-an-hour wind blowing in from left field. It's going to be fairly cold at 57 degrees. So I do think that could cause some uncertainties, but no way I'm backing the Rockies here. Royals and the Giants, last 3 games here on the slate. Chris Bubic going up against Robbie Ray. We see an over-under of 7. It's going to be 57 degrees with high humidity, mid-pressure, and a 16-mile-an-hour wind blowing out to right center. Again, you kind of just got to take the wind and just axe it. Really doesn't mean much in this park. Home runs are still going to be down 17%. Runs are going to be down almost 10. 2 really good lefties going up against each other. I would say the Giants offensively have the better team. Royals, I like them in tight games, and I think that's what we're going to have today. We're going to have a very tight game. I would almost lean towards the under 7. I would like this to get to 7.5. I would feel a lot more comfortable. I have a slight lean towards the Royals here. Give me the Royals, plus 110. I like the way Bubic has been pitching, giving up a 211 average of runners in scoring position. Robbie Ray a little higher at 242. Robbie Ray, 232 ERA in 5 home starts. Chris Bubic, 1.88 away ERA in 5 home starts. Lefties have been getting to Bubik, giving up a 316 average to lefties. Kind of the same story for Robbie Ray, 273 to lefties. Righties, Bubik, 209. Robbie Ray, 182. Hard hit percentage is a little high for Robbie Ray. That does give me some concern. Now, the bright side is this Royals team, they don't hit many home runs. They've only hit 5 home runs over the past 2 weeks, and not a single player's hit more than 1. So you've had Bobby Witt, Isbel Garcia, Pascantino, and Michael Massey have each hit a home run. And then on the Giants side, they've hit 13 home runs over the past 2 weeks. So guys like Ramos and Wilmer Flores and Jung-Hoo Lee have all hit 3 home runs over the past 2 weeks. Ramos has been on an absolute tear, I'll be honest. He's hitting 442 over the past 2 weeks. Bobby Witt, as you expect, has been hitting well. Kyle Isbel has been a pleasant surprise, hitting 357 over the past 2 weeks in 31 plate appearances, so not getting a ton, but yeah, it's still Royals for me. I think you're getting decent value to take this Royals team that just wins tight games. All right, next game, Angels and the Athletics. It's going to be Jose Soriano going up against JT Ginn. I like Soriano. I think he pitches very well. Weather today at this beautiful field that gives up home runs like crazy. 84 degrees with mid-humidity and pressure and a 10-mile-an-hour wind blowing out to right center. The home runs are going to be up quite a bit today. Now, I like the Angels in this spot because Soriano is a ground ball pitcher. 62% of his outs come via the ground ball. Looked fantastic in his last start. I don't love his splits against righties, giving up a little bit too high of an average at 362. So that did me a little bit of concern. But last 2 weeks, this Angels team is hitting. Got an average WRC plus of almost 112. So doing pretty good there. Should be a pretty good game. Do I trust JT again? Not really. He's 1-1 with a 268 opponent average, the exact same as Soriano. 4.61 ERA. He's got a 4 ERA in 2 home games. Soriano on the road has been really good, though. He's got a sub-2 ERA in 5 away games. So this is one, I'll take the Angels, plus 110. They've won 3 in a row. Did you expect them to come in and whoop the Dodgers? No. So we'll see how this line trends. I think you can probably end up getting better value on the Angels as the day goes on. I think we will see people taking the A's at home, which makes sense. I mean, probably the team you want to pick, but they're 2-8 in their last 10. They're only 8-13 at home. So not a lot of trends at work in their favor, but I do have the Angels winning this one. All right, last game is going to be the D-backs and the Dodgers. Brandon Pfaadt going up against Landon Knack. Knack's just not a dude I can get behind. He's 2-1 with almost a 6 ERA. Pfaadt 6-3 with a 3.73 ERA. Pitch splits for both look absolutely terrible. You still have 2 offenses that are hitting. Despite this bad last series for the Dodgers, they're still hitting really well. This is one where Knack has 2 starts at home. He's got a 7 ERA. Brandon Pfaadt on the road has been significantly worse than at home. He's given up a 6.64 ERA in 4 away starts, given up a 3.04 average to righties, 2.73 to lefties. Landon Knack's done a good job against lefties, but righties have absolutely crushed him, giving up a 4.21 average to righties. We have the wind blowing out to right field. It's going to be 70 degrees. It's going to be a nice day to play baseball. So just give me the over 9.5. I think both of these offenses have a day. We saw a very low-scoring game after a monster game in Colorado against the Rockies for the D-backs. So I like the offense to wake back up here. I just want to take the over and be done with it. I think the Dodgers are due to open up offensively. They are definitely due, but I'm not going to take them against a D-backs team that's fully capable of just launching baseballs. So give me the over 9.5. All right, best bets, and then we'll get on our way. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. First play, Reds first 7. Like I said, don't trust that they don't have Pagan, they don't have Santillan, so they're going to have to be relying on some arms I don't really love in the 8th and 9th innings. So we're just going to take first 7. I do think Lodolo goes at least 6. So, and we're going to take the Mets first 5. Again, we got a pitching advantage between Senga and Dobbins. Orioles and Brewers over 8. I know it's 2 teams that offensively have not been great. but we have two pitchers that are not good. So I do like offense in this one. And then last play is going to be Arizona and the Dodgers over 9.5. So 4 best bets today. Appreciate you guys tuning into the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next video.